StarCraft fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is a game between Cyan and Kelazhur on Apotheosis, the latter edition. This is from their series from the WCS Copa Intercontinental that wrapped up a couple of weeks ago. And let's get right on into it. In the top left side of the map, we have the blue Protoss player. It is Cyan. And in the bottom right side of the map, we have the red Terran player from Root Gaming. It is Kelazhur. Alright, so a PvT for you guys on Apotheosis. We have seen Polt play many a game on this map against Protoss players. He makes extensive use of Liberators, and Protoss seem to have a very, very hard time with that these days. We'll see if Kelazhur goes a Liberator or not. Oh, Ninja Barracks here by Kelazhur. Might this be a Reaper? He has gas building. Huh. This is a pretty good idea. Alright, so let's go ahead and get my Reaper list ready to go. I should just have it up whenever there's a Terran involved, just so I have it. I don't actually have to, I don't have to go hunting for it every time as I'm doing now on my phone. Where are you, Reaper name list? There it is. Reaper name list. I know some of you are worried that you suggested a Reaper name a long time ago and haven't actually heard it yet. And if that's the case, either it is one of the like 20 left on my list here, or I said it and you didn't watch that cast. Sometimes that happens. So, okay, here we go, and it is a Reaper. So this Reaper is going to be named General Zaroff. He was a retired general who spent years hunting almost every creature imaginable, but after all this time he has become bored with what he considers mundane and easy prey. He now hunts the most dangerous game, being Protoss. Yeah, I mean, I have to imagine hunting Protoss has got to be pretty scary because they're super advanced. They've been around for like thousands and thousands and thousands and probably millions of years, I want to say. And yeah, to be a Reaper... Oh, wait a second. This is a Ninja Pylon by Cyan here along the right side. And it's a... Oh my gosh, a Ninja Stargate. Okay, this is awesome. This is great. Okay, so the Reaper moving on into the main base here in the top left for Cyan. Kelazhur. General Zaroff, rather. Moving on in. Getting the KD8 charge in that probe line. Knocking them all back. Probes actually forced to fight for their own lives here. Getting one probe kill. General Zaroff. You are already a hero among Reapers. A second KD8 charge knocking more probes and weakening them. Can he get another probe kill? An Adept shows up. Yes, 2 probe kills, and he manages to escape 3 probe kills. 3 probe kills for General Zaroff. Well done indeed, my Reaper friend. I think part of that was made possible because Cyan went for the proxy Stargate, and he didn't quite have enough back home to defend that Mothership core. Was late because of that. The Adept was a little bit late as well, but man, 2 Reapers now. It's not like a mass Reaper play out of Kelazhur. We're going to move on, check for an expansion base. Does not see an expansion base. That's got to tick him off, or tip him off. Immediately, something weird is going on here. He's heading on over. A proxy starport by Kelazhur. Oh, he's trying to make something happen in the top right of the map here, but no, Adept finds the SCV and kills it before the starport can be completed. That is a rough one. Barracks has picked up and lifted off and is going back home. There's an Oracle building for Cyan. What is... Oh, missile turret coming up just in time for Kelazhur. Yeah, if you see a one-base play out of a Protoss here, go ahead and assume it's going to be an Oracle of some kind, or DTs, or something you could really use a missile turret for. Just build one. Just do it. Meanwhile, Kelazhur going for a Cyclone and getting the Mag Field Accelerator upgrade. Oracle moves in, gets a kill. Yep, an SCV kill. Nothing too crazy there. And the Cyclone is here too, using that lock-on ability, almost taking out that Oracle. Does manage to just get out of that range in time. Meanwhile, Reaper's back here, still trying to kill some stuff. Oh, Mothership core takes one of them down. Does take the other one down as well. Is that more worker kills? Yeah, workers killed by Kelazhur 7. General Zaroff. My hat is off to you. I'm not sure if it was you or your friend got the remaining 4 kills, but still, that's some really good Reaper pressure just from 2 Reapers. Kelazhur looking good so far. 23 to 27 workers in favor of the Terran player. Oracles flying around, 2 of them. Can they kill these Cyclones? No, not with double lock-on. And yes, they immediately retreat, recognizing Cyclones are probably their worst enemy in the situation, which is why Kelazhur is going for them. Meanwhile, Kelazhur also going Banshee with Cloak. Following this up with a Cloaked Banshee maneuver. I love this. And Cyan taking his natural base at the gold here on Apotheosis. Not hard to do. We've seen this fairly often. And I mean, it's just about as close to your main as your natural is. It's not too far away. So a lot of players have done this. Zerg players more often, Protoss players somewhat as well. Not really something that Terran like to do here, but ended up trying to scout inside the main base. There's a full wall, not allowing that shade to come through. Cyclones just sitting on the very corner of this map, of this main, and Lock-on getting another shot off. Revelation being tossed down on the Cyclones so that Cyan can see exactly what is going on there. Again, the Adept tries to come in and see what's going on. Is Kelazhur just going Mass Cyclone here? This is weird. This is very interesting indeed. Using lock-on on that Adept. Once again, the Adept can't escape before it dies. Cyclones don't have any kills, but they've done some good damage and forced away the Protoss army more than once here. A Stasis Ward is tossed on down. Oh, Adept dies. As that transfer finished right at the front door. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not, but anyways, Stasis Ward right at the front door of Kelazhur's stuff, right outside his natural base. And a Phoenix coming in for Cyan. He's got 3 Oracles now. Alrighty then, so maybe they're going to try to get some stuff done. There's only a missile turret inside this mineral line, and the Cyclone's a little bit out of position here. A bunch of SCVs are going to die. Meanwhile, Banshee here at the natural base, cloaked Banshee, going after workers. It is a worker massacre here. Lock on, trying to kill one of these Oracles. Can't do it. 2 of them very low on health, but it doesn't really matter. Banshee with 4 kills here. Kelazhur has killed 11 workers thus far. He's lost 6. So it's not exactly, it's a one-sided thing here. But yeah, Banshee, nothing to stop a cloaked Banshee here inside this main base. Probes are dying with what feels like by the dozens. 27 energy points left on this Banshee for Kelazhur. Just going to town. So many dead things. And there it is. What? How? An observer pop? What was? Another Banshee here for Kelazhur at the natural base. What? Oh, Revelation! Revelation reveals cloaked units. Oh, beautiful move there. Using the Oracles to reveal the Banshees. And unfortunately for Cyan, 18 probes have been killed so far. It's not very good. All 4 of the Cyclones get caught in that Stasis Ward. That sucks. That is terrible for Kelazhur. But Kelazhur's natural base up and running very happily, throwing down multiple missile turrets, 2 of them to be exact, just because of the number of Oracles and Phoenix that are on the field here. So right now, income tab is 26 to 35. Kelazhur has a nice lead. Both players, again, have lost workers. Both players going for the ninja buildings here and trying to kill things of their opponent. And both having varying amounts of success. It's just Kelazhur, I think, has more at this point. He is supply blocked, which is a bummer for Kelazhur, but he's got a bunch of supply depots coming in here, going for double refinery here to his natural base as well. And Banshee, once again, in the natural base. Banshee with 2 kills, 3 kills. Blink Stalkers show up, take it out. Not sure if he even tried to cloak there, but that's 4 more dead workers. 29 workers killed by Kelazhur. 29! That supply block is now over for him, fortunately. That hurts. That was quite a long supply block. And Robotics Facility coming in for Cyan. So, I mean, he does have the benefit of having the gold base here, and it's fairly well saturated as well. His main, too. I mean, he's not dying for workers to saturate his bases, which is a pretty good thing. Another Revelation being tossed out at this front door. We've got tanks, we've got Marines, a little bit more standard out of Kelazhur. Stasis Ward being thrown down inside the main base. And lock-on actually hitting that Stasis Ward while it was under construction. That's interesting. Don't see that every day. But Cyclones being revealed. That's exactly what Cyan needs here, is to come and attack angles where, blinking on top of this tank. Bam, tank ends up dead, but the Stalkers are now trapped inside a little bit. Can they get out? Lock-on being used. Marines right on top of these as well. Finally, they can blink out of there. One of the Stalkers does die to the lock-on ability, but the rest of the Stalkers do get out. So good push. Good little poke there by Cyan. Taking out a tank is always a nice thing to do. Continuing to replace that probe count. Getting an observer, just because Cloak Banshees can be super duper annoying. And you want to avoid dying to them as much as possible. Cyclones, Marines, tanks. This is pretty much what Kelazhur's going for here. He's getting some Marauders. At least a Marauder is in production now. I don't think he has any currently. Stasis Ward did get tripped here in the main base by one of Kelazhur's Marines, and then gets destroyed by the Oracles. Just trying to find something to kill. Not super cost effective for their Pulsar Beam ability, but that's okay. Third base on the way for Cyan. He might be able to work his way back into this if he keeps Kelazhur trapped inside his base long enough. It might work out. It's just the Cyclones are so dangerous. Still haven't killed any of these Oracles. I don't think. There are 3 of them. I think that's all that Cyan has made so far. The Revelation's been super useful for them. Cyclones have not been able to take them down, but 2 of them are very, very low on hit points. Shields regenerating notwithstanding. So army supply is 42 to 69. Kelazhur has a pretty nice lead. It's not insurmountable, I wouldn't say, but he's pushing out. He's got tanks. He's got Marines with +1 attack and stim. I don't think they have Combat Shield. Nope, Combat Shield is on the way, along with +1 infantry armor. Cyan is getting Resonating Glaives, +1 attack, and making 3 Stalkers at a time. I just don't know that Stalkers are the way you want to go here. Marines are great against Stalkers. Cyclones great against Stalkers. Tanks great against Stalker. I think Cyan might want to tech switch away from this. He has just have an Immortal coming out, which is nice. Good Stasis Ward by Cyan, catching 2 Cyclones and a handful of Marines here. Blink Stalkers trying to pick off these medevacs as they're flying a little bit exposed over the middle of the map here. Marines at the front. Cyclone does get taken down. It's exactly what Cyan needs. He's just playing stall tactics right now. He's trying to prevent the army of Kelazhur from getting up to his front door, from harassing his natural base or his third base. Picking off a free Cyclone there too. Another Cyclone dies. There's still 1 on a tank, and again, blinking back. Cyan does not want to engage with this because he just has, again, the Blink Stalker and 1 Immortal. He doesn't quite have it here. Great setup by Kelazhur. Right on the low ground by this gold base. Tanks are shelling workers. Tanks are shelling pylons. More and more probes are dying. Cyan cannot afford to lose any more probes. It's 45 to 48, so he's kind of caught up here, but he doesn't have much to deal with these tanks. Unfortunately, 1 Marine triggers that Stasis Ward. Great move by Kelazhur. And this mining operation at this gold base has pretty much been halved. 3 of these mineral fields are not being harvested whatsoever right now. Another Cyclone gonna die. No. Cyclone is alive, staying alive here, but this the tank count is a little bit too high, the Stalker count a little bit too high. Cyan, is he going for it here? He's dancing a little bit too much. It's unfortunately the tanks are just having a field day with these Stalkers, doing extra damage versus versus the armored Stalker. Adepts come Psionic transferring in here. Are they going to be allowed to finish? Yes, there's the finish. And here he comes, Cyan from the outside with the Stalkers and the Immortals. Immortals trying to crush what they can. 1 Immortal gets taken down immediately. Immortal on the left side getting drilled by Marines. Unfortunately, the tanks are untouched. Kelazhur wins that battle handily, moving up into the third base. All the Stalkers are gone, and that's it. A capital G out of Cyan. Cyan is defeated, and Kelazhur is victorious. Well done by Kelazhur there. Man, that was a good game. That was some non-stop harass. We saw Banshees, we saw Oracle, we saw some really impressive Reaper play in the early as well. I thought Cyan was going to come back. He got that worker count up where he needed it to, but he didn't have the right composition to deal with it Kelazhur had. Stalker is just terrible against everything the Terran player was bringing. He started to get Immortals, but a little bit too late. Didn't quite have the Adept count either to deal with those Marines. And that was it. So good job by Kelazhur. Good game plan, good game sense of knowing when to push. He expands behind his push too, taking that gold base during that attack. And he gets the victory for Terran today. So Terran fans should be pleased about that one. All right, so that's it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit the subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter and Facebook and Patreon, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself. Patrons! Nicholas Cheek, Sean Govin, Nick Riley, Josh Cornelius, Jin, Robert Farmer, Kayan, Matt Meermans, Hakon Marcus, Christopher, Alex Coffey, Ben Raboyne, 19 Day, Kith Carlo, Alexander Canaris, Complex, Ian Westbrook, Michael McIntosh, Sam Estagoy, Bo Brissett, Cale Anderson, Trevor Smith, Menhadin, GMP, Sik Kupata, Pedro Batsaris, Michael Wellen, Plaid, Henry Cooper, Clayton Knight, Jan Kodera, Kevin Chang, Rajiv Bhatt, link at the top right. Thank you. Bye.